hosts, Ed Oliver and Dialante Daniels, and another Wizards collapse. The Wizards 3 points in some way somehow found a way to lose by 18 points to the Houston Rockets. The Houston Rockets are on a 5-game losing streak before this game, and they were ranked dead last in defensive points per game, and the Wizards only got 97 points. And the Rockets are also ranked dead last in field goal percentage allowed per game. The Wizards just found a way to let Christian Wood go out there and look like Kevin Durant. But we're going to go over our main takeaways and also go over which loss was worse, the Clippers loss or this loss. And let's get to it.
You are Locked On Wizards, your daily Washington Wizards podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Thanks for making Locked On Wizards your first listen every day. We are free and available wherever you get podcasts. All right, D. So this game was pretty awful, man. What was your main takeaways from this game?
That was your vintage Washington Wizards experience. Play one good half of basketball, then play a terrible half right after that. I mean, it's like two completely different games. I mean, the first quarter, that was their best offense, the best they've looked offensively in a while, and they were moving the ball. Neto had 10 assists at halftime. Everything was working. Denny was playing really well. Rui was hot. Porzingis was getting blocks, etc. Ended the night with 5 blocks. But second half came along, and I mean, just same old. Start missing threes. They start getting crushed from the 3-point line by guys like Christian Wood and Eric Gordon. And they stop moving the ball, more ISOs, etc. And they lose a 20-plus point lead and almost lose by 20-plus. So the Wizards find ways to lose, man. They only put up 14 points in the fourth quarter. I mean, it was pathetic. But Lakers won. So they're back in that 10th spot because the Pelicans lost today. So if you want to look at it as far as the tank, it was good. But this was awful, man. It was terrible.
Yeah, it really does remind you of the Clippers loss. Wes Unseld Jr., you can tell he's going through some learning experiences as a coach and making adjustments. It's kind of the same, similar thing. Like you said, it was the tale of two halves. I mean, Denny was out there being point Denny. He was leading the fast break. He had a couple alley-oops to Porzingis and Daniel Gafford, and we just forgot how to do that. We stopped playing defense. We stopped defending the three-point line. Christian Wood, my goodness, had 30. Yeah, he had 39 points, almost had 40. So he had 8 threes, 8 for 9 from the three. He almost went 9 for 9 from the three. The fact that we let him go 8 for 9 from the three-point line is really inexcusable. 14 for 18 from the field, no resistance to Christian Wood at all. He had 39 and 10 boards. I mean, he hit one shot, he was unconscious. He started to hit some heat check threes, and we just couldn't stop him. I mean, we really couldn't stop him. Same thing with Eric Gordon, 5 for 7 from the three. The first half, we were running through Porzingis. He was making nice passes from the top of the key. He was scoring in the post. He had a couple of dunks as well. Rui went 4 for 4 in that first quarter. We took him out. We didn't go back to him offensively. Didn't run plays for him either. So that's on an adjustment standpoint. We just sat there and started to settle for threes. We just missed 3 after 3. We were awful from the 3-point line. I mean, you look at it, 6 for 29 from the 3-point line, 20% from the 3. The Rockets shot 51% from the 3-point line. They hit 23s tonight. Inexcusable. They shot 50% from the field as well. I mean, we just have not been a good defensive team at all since the trade deadline. A lot of teams like Josh Hart, you can add to the list. He put up 40. LeBron put up 50. Who else put up 40? Christian Wood almost put up 40. So guys, coming in and getting career nights every night against the Wizards. And, they went on a 6-game losing streak. They lost 7 out of 8. Like you talked about the lottery odds. It looks like that's what the Wizards are really going for. I mean, I just don't understand how you got by 23 and then you end up losing by 18. Only the Wizards are really capable of doing something like that. So it's once again, it's not a surprise. It's just disappointing because the first half looked really, really good. It looked like this is what we want to see from Denny. This is what we want to see from Rui Porzingis. Like you said, Howell had 10 assists. It's like where did the ball movement go? Where did the extra passing go? It's just like everything just went away in that second half.
Yeah. It's tiring, to watch that. Because it's not the first time the Wizards have blown a lead. Every time the Wizards get a lead, they're going to blow that lead. Like every single time. It never fails. Sometimes they blow the lead faster than others. They'll be up 10. You'll go up to grab some popcorn or something, or go get a drink from the fridge. You'll come back. Next thing you know, it's a 2-point game. Yeah, I mean, it just never fails. And you could tell every little stretch, the whole Rockets were just chipping away, down 23. Next thing you know, they're down 15. Next thing you know, they're down 12. And the next thing you know, they're down 8, down 6, tie game. It happens every single time. I mean, it's a little bit of both. It's on Wes and it's on the players as well, because somebody has to go out there and want to put a body on Christian Wood and maybe put him on the ground or something, do something, try to get the dude out of his rhythm. Try something, do something. I mean, that's not something, West can do, like game plan, but as a player, I mean, shoot, I don't know. Knock him down or something. I mean, the dude was just going crazy and the Wizards did nothing about it. So obviously this isn't the first player to do that. I mean, I'm surprised he didn't get 40. He was 1 point away, but I mean, this is classic Wizards, and another one in the hat of blowing leads and giving up career highs.
Definitely, yeah, we're gonna get to some of the lottery odds and which laws felt worse, and then also we're gonna talk about the young guys. We always talk about the young guys, who impressed the most tonight. With Kyle Kuzma being out, it gave some guys more opportunities. But before we do get to that, this episode is brought to you by Bet Online. It's that time of year again as college basketball's tournament is finally upon us. From all the latest odds, contests, and player props, BetOnline.net is the number one source for all your sports betting needs and info. BetOnline remains the best spot for all of your sports scores, podcasts, and news this season. And it's not just basketball. BetOnline is your continued source for all your sporting wagering information needs, including live betting and your favorite Vegas casino games. Head to the website today and use your mobile device to learn more about the trends in action. BetOnline, where the game starts. This episode is also brought to you by Athletic Greens. I started taking Athletic Greens because I wanted to get stronger, wanted to increase my endurance and mobility. Now I've been on it for about 2 weeks and I love it. It doesn't taste like it's super healthy. It has a kind of a mild tropical taste that I actually look forward to each morning. So what is Athletic Greens? With one delicious scoop of Athletic Greens, you're absorbing 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, whole food source superfoods, probiotics, and adaptogens to help you start your day right. This special blend of ingredients supports your gut health, your nervous system, your immune system, your energy, recovery, focus, and aging, all the things. Why do you personally consume it? Or I take it at least once a day. I send it to some of my family and friends. They've tried it. They like it a lot. They use it in their workout routine as well. I use it when I travel. Helps me stay healthy all the time. It's lifestyle friendly. It's keto, paleo, vegan. You can use it if you're vegan. It's dairy free or gluten free as well. Very affordable as well. So check out Athletic Greens. To make it easy, Athletic Greens, you can check it out at athleticgreens.com/NBA network. Athleticgreens.com/NBA network. And check it out there. All right. And thank you for making Locked On NBA, Locked On Wizards, your first listen. For your next listen, check out the Locked On Now podcast. Nightly recaps of every NBA game with analysis from our local experts is free and available wherever you get podcasts. All right, D. So, which one of the young guys impressed you the most tonight, and who stood out? And then also, which loss felt worse, the Clippers game or this game?
Well, I would say, I guess, Rui, strictly off the first half. He came out firing. He came out hot. He had 8 rebounds, 16 and 8. He was hitting his threes. He was good. He was hitting his middies, etc. But just like the whole team in the second half, everything just cooled off. He started missing. He ended up being 2 for 5 from the three. It was just tough. It was tough. So I would say Rui. But everybody kind of cooled off. Because Diddy was playing well in that first half as well too. But everything cooled off. But I would say Rui.
Yeah, Kispert played pretty well too at three
Mm-hmm.
threes, 13 points. Danny, I really thought this was going to be one of his breakout games. I thought he had a solid game, but he definitely cooled off in the second half, as did everybody else. Was 0 for 3 from the 3 point line, 7 points, 4 assists, and 9 boards. He was really getting the ball and pushing the pace and running the offense, facilitating the offense. Rui as well. This was a game where I was like, oh man, he can go off and get 25 points. Looking at the first half, starting out 4 for 4, 10 points in the first quarter. Ended up with 16 points and 8 boards. But yeah, I would agree with you and say Rui as well. I thought he played the best out of the three. But also, it was interesting. I forgot to say this in the beginning is that Bradley Bill was on NBC Sports Washington
Mm-hmm.
with the post game, and tomorrow we're gonna do a mailbag, and we're probably gonna talk about some of the rumors about the Heat trying to get him and the Sixers trying to get him. I don't know if you heard about that coming out from the Athletic, but he's watching this, and there's other teams that are going to be trying to get him this free agency. He's watching this, and is he really going to want to come back? Of course, we know he most likely he's going to come back because of
Mm-hmm.
the contract that's on the table, and he's already said it's fair. But him watching from the press conference, looking at his body reaction and the things he was saying and his facial expressions, it doesn't look like a guy that was happy at all. And this team, man, like they got a lot of work to do if they want to be competitive next year. I know Kuzma was out, Bradley's out, but still, like this is a bad loss. And this roster, even if Bradley Bill comes back and Porzingis comes back, the upside for this roster, I mean, it's just not. There's not a lot of. I would say the upside and the ceiling for this team is really like a 6 seed at best. So I don't.
Yeah, I mean, they got a lot of work to do, man. From the coaching staff all the way down to the roster, they got work to do because it's hard to go from being this bad to being taken serious at any level. So I don't know, man. It's hard to see. Going into next year, hopefully they can luck up and get. It would be great if they can get a Jaden Ivey or Benedict Mathurin, a guy like that. They still got issues to figure out at the point guard position. Who's going to do that? I mean, at the end of the day, they got to defend at a respectable level. That's really what it's going to come down to. How are they going to defend? Because if they're going to give up 50% from the field shooting and 50% from the three shooting, good luck. Good luck winning any games.
Right, the Wizards since the trade deadline they've been terrible defending the three, playing any kind of defense. But as I was saying, with this team next year, they got a lot to work out. But you brought up Benedict Mathurin, and he played really well in the second round. He had 30 points. Jaden Ivey, we can look up, but the lottery odds, I can pull it up real quick. As we were talking about before the stream, the Pelicans won, the Lakers won, the Pelicans lost, but the Lakers won. So that does help out with the odds. Right now we are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We're the 11th worst team in the league. So we're right in the middle of the pack. We're not going to get a top 5 pick unless we get really, really lucky. But right now we're basically in NBA purgatory at the moment. So yeah, it's just the future. It is what it is with the Wizards. They got a lot of work cut out for them. Wes Unseld Jr. This is his rookie year. The honeymoon period is definitely over though, for sure.
Yeah, I think a lot of people. I mean, they're questioning. They got questions. They got worries and concerns about Wes. So I don't know. I don't. I mean, I think obviously I feel like he's going to be here after the season's over. The Wizards aren't going to get rid of him after 1 year. That's just like I said before, not what the Wizards do. But that's why I said from the coaching staff to the roster, because Wes has his issues that he needs to figure out as well. And I don't know if that gets fixed by bringing in, veteran assistant, but that's also positive of having a head coach who, you know, have had previous head coaching experience in the past. I know the Wizards said they wanted somebody new, fresh, etc. But sometimes you get things like this. People like, oh, maybe he needs a vet assistant, he needs help, etc. You get those kind of questions.
Yeah, definitely. So another frustrating loss. But before we wrap up and get to play the game and X Factor, and which loss do you think was worse? It doesn't really matter, but which one do you think stung the worst?
Clippers, because they
Yeah,
had Brad, etc. That was bad. That was bad. Now this. I wasn't surprised. I borderline expected it to happen. The Clippers though, 30 plus points. Come on, man, that's crazy.
right.
And it's just the way that the foul with the three. Just oh man, that was. Whew. I mean,
Right. But all right, before we get to play the game X Factor, we got a quick word from D.
this episode is brought to you by Rock Auto. With the ever increasing numbers of makes and models, it's now impossible for your local chain auto parts store to stock all the parts you need. Why endure often pointless or seemingly intimidating questioning? And wait while the person behind the counter orders the parts on their computer, choosing the only brand their warehouse happens to carry. You have computers with access to rockauto.com at home and in your pocket. Save time and money when using Rock Auto. Why choose to spend 30, 50, even 100% more for the same parts from a chain store or car dealership? Rock Auto is a family business serving do-it-yourselfers for over 20 years. Rock Auto prices are reliably low for every customer. They have everything you can need from brake parts, tail lamps, motor oil, and even new carpet. Go explore their easy-to-use website to find the solution to your auto part needs. Go to rockauto.com right now and see all the parts available for your car or truck. Write Locked On in their How Did You Hear About Us box so they know we sent you. Amazing selection, reliably low prices, all the parts your car will ever need. RockAuto.com.
All right, D. So who is your player of the game X Factor?
Player of the game, Christian Wood. I mean, he was insane. Dude was going crazy. X Factor, I'll probably say Jalen Green. He had a pretty good game. He had the highest plus minus out of the whole Rockets team. He had plus 28. He definitely started to turn up in that second half. I mean, everybody on the Rockets did. So I'll go X Factor, Jalen Green.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. Of course, Christian Wood, him hitting 8 threes, looking like Kevin Durant, Anthony Davis out there. I mean, he had a career night, 39 points, 10 boards. He just dominated. We just couldn't stop him. I mean, like the broadcast said, he looked like Steph Curry at one point. He was hitting threes with his eyes closed. For me, it could be Eric Gordon or Jalen Green. I thought Jalen Green definitely got in the passing lanes, and that one alley oop, he got the crowd into it, and once that happened, it just went off. I mean, you look at the Rockets too; they only have 4 guys in double figures, so only 4 guys went out there and racked up points. But man, yeah, Garrison Matthews hit a three as well. A couple of threes, of course, the former Wizard. But yeah, I agree with you on that.
It's a thing like with West that I'm talking about as far as like, oh, he may need help. Like, it's crazy how Christian Wood was just clearly getting on fire and heating up.
Mhm.
You see a double team get sent at him.
No adjustments really made the finish.
He just out there 1v1 and no double team. Nobody came to. I mean, what does he got to be LeBron to get that? I mean, he was playing like him. So he's playing like KD. I mean, that was yeah. I didn't even really notice that until just now. Like they didn't even send a double team at him.
Yeah.
They didn't really try to stop him from heating up like that.
Right, yeah. And West is a defensive minded coach, so it's just disappointing to see how bad we are defensively. Like even before the trade deadline, we were just bad. Um, since February 10th, we're 30th in defensive rating, 120.5. So yeah, I mean, if people want to come in and get a career high against us, that's what happens. People come and get Josh Hart gets 44, Christian Wood gets 38, LeBron gets 50. Steph got 40 something on his birthday. I mean, who do we play next? The Bucks. I mean, well, Giannis gonna get 60 like Karl Anthony Towns, or I mean, is Chris Middleton gonna get 50? I mean, just who knows? But like I said, like we both said, we know it's better for this roster future wise to get better lottery odds. And it's just weird how they went away from stuff that was working, like Porzingis was cooking the post and facilitating through him, Rui's cooking. So it's just weird that we go away from things that work. But hey, was there 12 games left? We'll see how it shakes out. And hopefully the Wizards can add some players in the draft and through free agency. We'll see what happens with Bradley Beal in his future. But looking at him in the broadcast today, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, they got to do something because this is awful. This is an awful product. At this point, I saw Porzingis. When he got a shot blocked, I think by Sengun, he was holding his ankle a little bit. Go ahead and sit him, man. Don't even worry about it at this point.
Yeah, I think Kuzma. Yeah, sorry to cut you off. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was saying playing is that's over, man. That's done. Not officially, but come on, Yeah. I mean, just get the mods, man.
Yeah, they're 5 games out. And Kuzma with the knee soreness, I'm not going to speculate, but I think they are sitting him so some guys can get playing time.
It's no point of risking further injury, or if a guy's banged up in the slightest way, just sit him down. There's no point of him playing on a banged up knee 30 plus minutes on a losing team when you're not even like in the thick of the 10th seed race. Like, come on, man. You're like, but they're like 4 games back at this point. Yeah. So just anybody if they're a little banged up, just go ahead and sit them.
Yep. I think they are 5 games out. But just want to thank you guys for making Locked On Wizards your first listen every day. Now make your second listen Locked On NBA. Locked On experts covering the biggest stories around the NBA every Monday through Friday in less than 30 minutes. It's free and available wherever you get your podcast. Oh, we did reach 2,000 subscribers, so that's a win. Something good did happen today. Make sure you guys hit the notification bell as well and subscribe to us on YouTube and wherever you guys get a podcast. Hail to the Wizards.